A woman, acting entitled, insists on a VIP table, claiming she's close with the restaurant owner. But I'm the actual owner, and she ends up in tears with a $4,000 tab after my calculated response. This woman storms into my establishment, loudly proclaiming her connection to the owner and demanding we reserve a celebrity-exclusive VIP table for her and her group. The catch? I'm the owner, and I've never met her. Instead of calling her out, I decide to go along with her act to see where it leads. During their meal, one of her friends mocks me, asking if I find my life empty because I'm just a waiter. That's when I decide to teach them a lesson. Here's how it unfolded. This happened around the holiday season between Christmas and New Year's. My grandparents, who moved from Italy to Canada in the 1970s, founded this restaurant. After their passing, my parents took over, expanding it over the years. I started working here at 15, and when my parents retired to Florida as snowbirds, they sold the business to me, retaining a small share for extra income. When I took over, I revamped the place. New logo, modernized interior, and heavy promotion through local and national media. I invited food critics, bloggers, and vloggers to spread the word. At first, business was slow, and I worried the loan I took for the upgrades would ruin our family legacy. But things turned around when a semi-famous local YouTuber featured us in a video, driving a surge in customers. Even on slow days like Mondays, we saw 5 to 10 times our usual traffic. We became a hotspot for big events, and celebrities occasionally dropped by. I even paid high-profile chefs to cook for guests, which cost a fortune, but packed the place during the holidays. Reservations for December had to be made by July. When things get hectic, I don't hide in an office. I'm out front, greeting guests, clearing tables, or cleaning floors. On nights with VIPs or events, I suit up and take charge. One evening, a group of 6 women walked in. 5 seemed to be in their early 20s, led by a woman who appeared slightly older, maybe mid-20s. I guessed she was an older sister or a senior sorority member. As they approached, the leader was hyping up the restaurant to her friends, boasting about its amazing food and the chance to spot celebrities. When she reached me at the host stand, she demanded a table for 6. I asked for the reservation name, and she blinked, admitting she hadn't made one. "It's fine," she said. "The owner's a close friend. He always keeps a couple of tables free for special guests, and we can have one tonight." Many upscale restaurants do this, and I'd started the practice myself. But I'd never spoken to this woman. She was clearly trying to bluff her way in, but she picked the wrong person to try it on. I explained politely that we couldn't seat anyone without a reservation, as we were fully booked. I avoided saying outright, "I'm the owner, and we've never met," to spare her embarrassment in front of her group. She didn't back down. She told one of her friends to snap a photo of me, threatening to tell the owner to either fire me or demote me to cleaning toilets by week's end. Her friends chimed in, mocking me with comments like, "Say goodbye to your low-wage job." I couldn't tell if they believed her or were just playing along. The leader pressed harder, saying, "Give us a table or I'll make your life miserable. This isn't worth your job." She kept jabbing her finger at me, belittling me, and insisting that if I were anyone important, I'd know who she was and comply. It had been a tough day, and I saw 3 paths forward. Call her out as the owner, give in and seat them, or teach her a lesson. I chose the third. Smiling, I said, "Of course, ma'am, right this way." I led them to one of the 3 tables we keep open for unexpected celebrity guests, a rare occurrence. I apologized for the confusion and said it was easier to seat them. I even offered the first 3 rounds of drinks on the house. After seating them, I personally took their orders and asked for a credit card and ID to keep on file, which we'd return before they left. The leader handed over her card, proudly telling her group, "Tonight's on me." Informed them that due to the busy night, their food might take a while, but they were too focused on the free drinks to care. They ordered 3 rounds before any food arrived. When they finally asked about their meal, they were rude, so I offered more drinks while promising to check on their order. They ordered 2 additional rounds. By the time appetizers arrived, they were tipsy, having drunk heavily on empty stomachs with only salads to nibble. What they didn't know was that they were at a VIP table, which typically costs thousands to reserve, though I didn't charge them for it. Beyond the first 3 complimentary rounds, I charged them for every expensive cocktail they ordered. The VIP table came with exclusive menus that don't list price, a common upscale restaurant practice. These menus featured premium items like white truffle dishes, black caviar, and imported West Coast oysters. At one point, I questioned if I was going too far. These young women might not have known better, but their behavior kept me on track. One of them asked if I felt my life was meaningless as just a server. Another staff member overheard them plotting to mess with me, believing they could always get their way. I also caught comments like, "He's cute, but I wouldn't date a waiter. Such a pushover." Their entitlement fueled my resolve. By the night's end, each woman's tab ranged from $500 to $600, totaling $4,232.23, including tax and tip. When I presented the bill to the leader, her drunken giggles turned to near tears. She called me over, asking if it was a mistake. I reviewed the bill, apologized, and promised to bring the correct one. Relieved, she called me an idiot under her breath. But when I returned with the same bill, she lost it. I calmly asked if anything was listed that they hadn't ordered. The group pored over the bill, noting the 3 free drink rounds and triple-checked every item with their phones. The leader, now panicked, excused herself to the restroom. I worried she might skip out, but I subtly reminded her we had her ID and card. When she returned, her makeup refreshed but eyes red from crying, she complained about the food and drinks, demanding I have the bill. She mentioned her connection to the owner again, as if it would sway me. I firmly said, "No, the bill stands." She showed me text messages from a contact labeled with my restaurant's name plus owner. It was obvious she'd edited a friend's contact in the restroom to fake the exchange. I clicked the contact info and said, "That's not the owner's number." She claimed he had multiple phones for business. I offered to call the number and reduce the bill by 50% if the owner approved. She started yelling, drawing attention from other guests, so I decided to end it. In a firm tone, I said, "Enough. You don't know the owner. You've never been here before. Keep this up and I'll call the police." She tried to defend herself, but I cut her off. "My grandfather started this restaurant. My family has run it for decades. I'm the sole owner, and I've never met you or made any promises." Her friends were stunned, and she was crying. I added, "I gave you the VIP table you demanded, didn't charge you for it, and provided 3 free drink rounds. Pay your bill, or I'll call the cops with your ID." Sobbing, she signed the bill. Her friends scraped together a few $100s in cash, promising to pay her back later. 2 days later, an angry man, likely her father, showed up with her, demanding to speak to me. I was busy, so he waited half an hour. In my office, I showed them security footage from the VIP area, which had high-quality audio due to past incidents. The footage captured their rude comments, orders, and behavior. The man left, yelling at her, "Not me." I haven't heard from them since. The original bill, excluding $120 oysters, is framed on my desk. Financially, I didn't lose much. The table was meant to stay empty, so there was no lost revenue. The meal and extra drinks covered the cost of the free rounds. So, was I wrong? The most striking thing, beyond the money or their bullying tactics, was their worldview. One friend's comment about my meaningless life as a server was shockingly entitled. "There's nothing wrong with any honest job, whether it's waiting tables or cleaning. I hate when people look down on certain roles, especially while mocking someone working hard." I'm glad the story ended with the father turning his anger on his daughter, not me. The only unsettling part was the audio recording in the VIP area. I'd hesitate to dine somewhere if I knew my conversations were recorded. Still, it worked out for me. How would you handle this if it was your restaurant? Was I wrong, and why?